I always thought I could save him, but he ended up destroying me.
Once somebody is under the influence of drug, cannot reason with the person. And of course, it will affect the family's finance. Because the money you're supposed to use to take care of the family, you use it to do drug.
No matter how much I love you, I cannot come out of the addiction for you. You must be the one who will come out of that addiction.
When one is under the influence of drugs, you may be inhibited. You may not even know what you're doing until maybe at the end of it, you now realize, oh, so I did this. I didn't know when I did it as a result of drug use.
Now, so someone that smokes weed is highly aggressive. And because of that, the issue of wife battering will be there. And of course, once the woman is being beaten over and over again, she's bound to go.
He destroyed me. I couldn't even stop when I started. My life was just thrown apart.
Drug use is not only meant for men alone. Even women are also involved.
Of course, we have many of them. We know the problem with our society is that the female ones don't openly abuse it. They abuse it in their room. As a young man can easily go to a beer parlor and take down one crate of beer or two crates of beer and fall inside the gutter. It will be seen as a normal thing. Or seeing a woman smoking and drinking, begin to frown. We really have them, but they do it in their bedroom. Now, the major drug that is being abused by women, especially family women, you see them take sleeping pills, like all bromazepam, they trozepam and diazepam class.
For every 4 drug user in Nigeria, one of them is a female.
When a woman is involved in drug use, you don't need to spend too much money. Any place you enter, you will see somebody that will buy it free for you. Because they will be happy. See, a woman is even doing drugs the same way we are doing drugs. So even if they are spending thousands on you, they don't care. Because you are a woman doing drugs with them. So they derive joy. The men derive joy in seeing a woman use drugs.
I've seen people steal and sell things embarrassingly cheap. You take your father's car and sell for 10,000 naira because you want to buy drugs.
I've had a case where somebody gave somebody house document for 2,000 naira just to smoke.
When one starts selling all these things, you will no longer maintain your family. You no longer pay school fees for your children. And before you know it, your wife will threaten you that she's going, that she's packing the children from your house, or maybe she's even leaving the kids with you to train.
But if you cannot afford the drug of choice at any point in time and nobody is willing to give him, because first he will steal from you, he will sell all the property that the family has, he will steal from any sibling who has anything of value, he will steal from the neighbor. If he doesn't steal, he will get his people to come and steal from the neighbor.
This creates a crisis, tension between the husband and wife as to who is responsible for what the child is doing, tension between siblings, taking other siblings' things to sell. It's a crisis.
And people who abuse drugs, they're not criminals necessarily. At that stage, they are victims and they need help. And when they come for help, they get help. But when you now go beyond that and start to assault people, start to steal, and then what not, you have become a criminal.
Coming down from grace to grass as a result of drug abuse, people sent abroad to study because of the antecedents. But at the end of the day, they get into drug, come back to the country, they start driving cab. As time goes, they sell it off as a result of the drug and become ordinary laborer. From there, they become beggars.
Yes, what I'm saying is an addict who uses fixes as butter. He cuts the bread into two and put fixes, that is shit, excreta, put it as butter in between his bread and eat it.
A young man who comes from a very wealthy home, who had a drug habit of 50,000 naira a day. Every week he was spending 350,000. He sold all his wife's jewelry. He sold everything his children had. He sold everything in their house. He became violent. His wife left because she couldn't. In fact, they couldn't pay their bills, and he ended up in the streets.
I've also seen somebody stabbing his parents to death. He didn't even see it as anything. He thought it was normal. He stabbed the father from the back on the neck, and the man died.
What that means is that most criminals are able to carry out their crime under the influence of drugs.
A society that has drug addicts is never safe. You have cases of rape in the society, you have cases of theft in society.
See some of these very big trucks that travel long distance at night, particularly who drive at night. If you see, they take drugs so that they don't sleep. And sometimes the drugs they have taken, when they see vehicles, they call it frog. Say they match frog. So they climb vehicle. You can tell that such people are not in their right senses. Now, all these are crimes that are committed under influence of drugs.
Somebody takes drugs, then see an old woman of that caliber, then pounce on the woman as if you are seeing a 16-year-old girl and rape her mother. He was given a beating of his life by his community members.
So when you have people who do drug abuse in a community that are quite appreciable number, of course that community would definitely have challenge with this security setup.
I am willing to start all over again. Even though I know I don't know how to.
Getting involved in drug use is like a cult. Joining might be easy, but getting out might be difficult.
A drug addict doesn't know he has a problem. Until he realizes he has a problem, then that's the onset of the treatment. Some may go to rehab and stay for like 4 months without having an insight. So that they are released, they go back to the drug. That very first day. There is hope.
The hope is the person. It's for the person to make up his mind the way he made up his mind to go in, to also to make up his own mind to get out. And once you make up your mind to say no to drug abuse, of course you keep to it.
But there's no need to start at all. Even cannabis, cigarettes, alcohol, there's no point.
You can seek help. You can go for counseling, you can go for rehabilitation. There are some rehab homes here and there. You can seek help in one of these places. They keep you there, counsel you, detoxify you.
I would say there has been a marginal increase, in my mental state, I would say, because when you use substances, you're mostly, I would say, in a stimulated state. But when you don't use substances, you're more relaxed.
Even when they were complaining about it, I didn't take it serious because I found that it was something that I was just doing, that I can stop it at any time I wanted. But after a time, I found out that it's not easy in that way to stop it.
Anybody who would come out of drug addiction, at the end of the day, the family would help, the community will help, but the person has to do 95% of the work. So you have to decide really that I have had enough. And when you get to that point, you see that you begin to take the steps that will make you come out of drug addiction and drug abuse.
Those who have not used drugs or experimented on drugs to stay away from even experimenting on these drugs and grow with their normal senses and live a drug-free life.
At the point of dependence, you are the driver's seat of your life is occupied by the drug. So it tells you what to do. And except you are held by an expert, it is not a moral weakness. You can't just wake up. You may not be able to wake up one day and say, I've stopped it. The drugs will make you go back to it. That's why it's difficult. I advise you, run if you can.
Advice to people is to be what you are. Don't take drugs, in fact, because the society has not accepted it. Don't do it.
I will advise that people stay away from drugs, especially the youths. it's better you stay away from drugs, and try to tackle your problems headlong, Look for far-reaching solutions, long-term solutions to your problem.
Although there may be cases of relapse, but then relapse is part of recovery. Because when you fail, you know why you failed. You know what made you to fail and begin to avoid it so that you will not fail again.
I will advise, don't try. Run if you can. Because when you get in, life will never be the same for you again. Your life will take on the negative turn. Positive aspect of life will elude you as long as you are involved in abusing drugs.
I believe there is much hope out there for me.